Hi there, so in this video I am talking about The Magus by John Fowles. This book was long, it was about 650 pages and I was so daunted when I saw it. I had to read it for uni and I was like, oh my goodness. I generally don't get on with longer books like that, I find them quite hard to read. But I thought just go for it, Chels, and I was more than pleasantly surprised. I absolutely loved this book. Every time I go back and I think about it, I remember something else about the book, or another little thought comes to me, and it's fantastic. I absolutely love it. The book really absorbed me. It kept me constantly guessing. Essentially, throughout the whole book, I can't say too much without giving it away, but you always kept guessing about what is the truth and what is not. So the whole way through the book I was like, it's this, it's this, it's this. And just as you think you've sussed it, the book throws you a massive curveball. Like a massive curveball. And you just sat there like, well, damn. I thought I nailed this, but no. I think I still don't know what the truth is, but I think that's the whole point of the book. I think truth is a multiplicity, however you see it, and life is made up of other people's stories and other people's experiences, so you can't experience other people's things, so they tell you a story, but obviously that story is biased because it's their own experience, so they're trying to paint it in a specific light. So really, I think throughout life you can't find truth except your truth, but your truth is then coloured through your experiences and your privileges and all that kind of stuff. So essentially, the whole book just absolutely screws with your head the whole way through. But I loved it, absolutely loved it. So I think the book is kind of meant to be reflecting the whole uncertainty of life. Obviously we never really know what we're going or where we're doing, what we're going, where we're doing. That was wrong. Where we're going and what we're doing. And I personally love that. I think it's great. It scares the hell out of me some days, but I love it. And the book is set in post-World War II Europe, and clearly that uncertainty is very much reflected in the setting. So it's set in Greece. I believe it's Greece, yeah. So there's a lot of talk about fascism and complete and utter societal change, and it's just fantastic. And I think there's no point in a life where we know exactly where we're going and exactly what we're going to be doing. That just seems really dull to me. My life plans change every day. Every day I decide I'm going to do something different with my life, and it's exciting. I love it. I love not really knowing what I'm doing. I don't know whether I'm going to do a master's when I graduate. I don't know if I'm going to work when I graduate, and I graduate in 5 months, so I should probably decide, but right now I'm just enjoying being a student and getting on with life and having fun. I think the book is kind of a journey of self-discovery, in the sense that it looks at our morals, our priorities, and the inward eye, and how we see ourselves. So the whole book, I think, is about coming to terms with you and the decisions you make and the consequences of the decisions that you make, and deciding what's important to you, and realising that what you thought was really important to you perhaps isn't, and you're going to take your life somewhere different, and different things are going to be important to you. A lot of that's done through the book in terms of romance. Kind of. Romance? Yeah. So, I want to tell you so much about this book, but I can't because of the nature of the book. It's really mysterious and the whole book's an enigma, and I don't want to ruin it for you because I want you all to go and read it. I want everybody in the world to read this book. That is how amazing it is. And I think the widespread appeal of this book is the fact that the narrator and all the different characters could really be anybody as an individual. Although they are their own people and they're very, very three-dimensional characters, you can also transpose yourself onto absolutely any one of them. And I think that's great, and I think that's really interesting. Because generally in a book you're forced, or you tend to associate with the protagonist, whether that's the first person narrator or the sort of the main character of the book or whatever. And to an extent you definitely are in the Magus, because it's that character, the narrator is the character who's having all these mind altering experiences. But I could see myself in every single one of the characters, whether they were male or female, old or young. And I just think that's great. I think it's really, really interesting to be able to do that. And also the way that there are sort of dramas and events throughout the book, and they're all improvised, absolutely improvised, and that's because you've got the narrator, protagonist, whatever you want to call him, and obviously they don't know how he's going to react. So everything they do, they have to build on all these new experiences and all these unknowns, which is fabulous. Oh, I just love it. I love the book. I do definitely think it's all about embracing the unknown and learning to understand that life is essentially a massive headfuck. I can't think of any other way to describe it than that. Life is just this great big ball of stuff that is chasing you down a passage like Indiana Jones, and you just run and you just deal with it, and you never know what's going to happen, and you don't know anything basically, and you're just wandering along. But yeah, I love the book, and I want you all to read it, and don't be daunted by the size, and it takes a while to read. I say it took me a good 2.5 weeks because you really don't know what's happening throughout the whole book. So it really, you've got to stick with it and plough through, and hopefully you will love it as much as I did. So yeah, awesome. I will see you next time. Bye!